Hi, my name is Stephanie, and today I want to talk to you about Kanye West. Pretty sure I never thought I would say that, especially in a video. Anyway, I'm sure that by now you have heard all about Kanye, about how he has released an album titled Jesus is King, how he has declared himself a Christian, and how he's even talked about his struggle with pornography while condemning it. These are huge things for a mainstream artist to suddenly come out and do and say. And of course, as it is with Christianity, people are coming out to decide for themselves whether Kanye is saved or not. So I have heard people skeptical saying that, someone like Kanye could never be a Christian. He couldn't be sincere about it. I've heard that people were concerned that he was just trying to make money off the Christians, that thriving Christian music industry, and also that it was just a publicity stunt. So first of all, it is not trendy, actually, to call yourself a Christian and actually show yourself to be a Christian in the mainstream. The way I mean that is that it's chill, it's cool if you're like, oh yeah, I'm Christian or whatever, believe in God or whatever, and then you go and do something that is very worldly and not exactly something that is a good idea. We've seen this with many celebrities where they're like, yeah, I love God or whatever, and then they're like out there saying things that are very contrary to the Bible, doing things that are just contrary to even common sense, and caring about yourself and valuing yourself as a human being and valuing others as human beings. Just a lot of people like to just say it, but to actually say it and do it isn't cool. It's not hype and chill and edgy to say you're a Christian now and you don't want to cuss, and like he said, he didn't want his daughter to wear crop tops right now, and he wasn't really okay with certain things and coming out against pornography, which people were making fun of him for, by the way, of course, because that's not cool. So for people who are like, oh, he's just doing it, to be trendy or whatever, where? Who? When? Like, please tell me when the trend comes around for you to be like all pure and holy, because I want to be cool for 30 seconds. That would be great. And I really think that Kanye is actually experiencing what a lot of new Christians experience, where when that Christian is born again, saved, whatever, and they start actually following after Christ and they start saying, you know what, I don't want to be involved with these things anymore. I don't want to do what I used to do. I want to do things that are pleasing to God. And then their friends who have been doing those things with them start to get kind of irritated. They're like, yeah, we really hope that's a phase. Like, you're gonna snap out of it. You know who you really are. And then after a while, they start getting mad because then, oh, you're too good for us. You used to do this with us and now you're too good for us. Now you're all holy. And I really think that he's starting to go through that phase right now. I think right now we're in that, like, everyone's like, Kanye is a Christian, okay. But I feel like the more that he continues the way he is, the more people are like, ugh. And that's really rough for a new Christian. But to me, that is obvious fruit, that this isn't for popularity. It's not for popularity like some people kind of go about it. So the difference you're seeing here again with Kanye is fruit. We can judge people by their fruit, and we are seeing him make actions that are fruitful in a good way, not a bad way. And where you might not see that with anyone who says, oh, I'm a Christian, but then they do things that are contrary. Very, very contrary. And I'm not talking about Lauren Daigle, so get over yourself. And every single one of us, when living a worldly life, were nowhere near acceptable as a Christian. We weren't good people. We weren't people worthy of being a Christian or being a good person or being godly and holy or whatever you want to call it. We were all coming from a place of being in sin, human beings. So to say like someone like Kanye can't be a Christian, that's really kind of stupid to say. The worst of us have been loved by Christ. The worst of us have experienced God's transforming power in our hearts. So to be like, oh, well, Kanye's the special exception. That's a little interesting there. I didn't know that in the Bible it said that, like, oh, everyone but Kanye. Okay. Now, honestly, I think my favorite one is the people that are worried about Kanye wanting to just, like, tap into that lovely, stingy Christian money. I'm sorry, but we have a really bad reputation of being very stingy people. Which is funny because, like, it's like one or the other. People are either super giving or, like, super stingy when it comes to Christians. I don't know. Especially when it comes to restaurants. But that's beside the point. Anyway, I just think it's funny because I don't think people realize there are so many people in this world that have no idea that Christian music is a thing. Like, they don't know that that's actually a thing. Kanye is one of those people who has a huge audience, makes tons of money. I don't even listen to his music and I know his name. Do you understand, like, how trying to make it in the Christian music market would be a big step down monetarily? 'Cause it would be. Now, there are some people who have come out and admitted that they lied about being Christian to, you know, get Christian people to support them purely because they say they're Christian. But those are people who couldn't make it big being just like everybody else. They're like, well, Christians are a more niche market. This might fly here, so your subpar music might actually make it somewhere. Sad truth, commentary will have to leave for another video. And along those lines, the whole publicity stunt idea also doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Again, when you want to make a big impact, get in the headlines, be, you know, all over the internet, that's when you do something edgy. It's when you do something that is outrageous, that no one can believe you did that. You know, they just pushed all the boundaries. Usually becoming a Christian and not being cool with porn isn't exactly pushing the edgy boundaries. So I really don't see that as an attempt at a publicity stunt. Usually it's more like you've either done something nice that everyone can accept, like gave money to charity, but that usually doesn't make headlines. Or it's you do something horrible that no one could fathom doing, and then that's how you make the headlines. So to say, like, that's a publicity stunt just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Now, of course, obviously, we would like to be like, yeah, Kanye is one of us. We've got Kanye West on our side. Like, remember that Kanye, just like anybody else, is a human being, and especially a baby Christian. While he is a person who has a lot of visibility, understand that he is a baby Christian. Do not expect him to be the Christian of all Christians. Do not expect him to be perfect. Do not expect him to do everything right. And don't necessarily take tons of Christian-y advice from him, except the ones that are obvious, like Bible truths. When he said, he was asked, oh, are you a Christian artist now? He said, I'm a Christian everything. When he was talking about things, like, if he's talking about things that align with the Bible, that's awesome. But if he starts going off the rails and he's like, yeah, this old stuff I used to do is fine, then, you know, use your brains, guys. I just really hope that being a baby Christian, he isn't, like, completely squashed immediately, because that does happen to a lot of baby Christians. So, yeah, be praying for Kanye, whether you think he's really a Christian or not. You know, he is doing things that are making people look at Christ, at the very least. And to me, that's amazing. So good on Kanye for turning eyes to Jesus. And honestly, if you're kind of wondering his sincerity, I encourage you to listen to that album. And there was even an article about what he asked of the people who were working on his album while they were working on his album. He didn't want them doing basically wrong things. He asked them to fast. Like, they prayed. Honestly, I would not be surprised if a lot of people on the teams of Christian artists don't actually do that, or at least not all of the people working on there. I'm just being honest with you. So to see that someone demanded that there be some sort of reverence when making music concerned with God, that means a lot to me personally. But again, whatever. It's not our job to decide Kanye's salvation. And we're also not going to, like, come out here and worship Kanye. Okay, awesome, great. So there you go. Those are my thoughts on the whole Kanye's a Christian thing. I hope that all goes well for him and that he continues down a path that glorifies God. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and give it a like and let me know your thoughts about all of this in the comments below. I used to upload weekly to this channel. I now have college and a lot of other things on my plate, so I upload to this channel sometimes on Saturdays at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you're interested in Christian related content from me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having a wonderful week and see me whenever my next video is. Bye!